Those were the headlines that we are tracking this evening. You're watching CNBC TV18 and this is Reporter's Diary. Straight to news just coming in. Public sector banks have managed to disburse loans to the tune of 2.5 lakh crore rupees through the Credit Outreach Program in October. Data from the Finance Ministry shows nearly half of these loans were given to corporates. Sapna Das is here with more details. Sapna, take us through that data.
That's right. That's an important point that you have mentioned, that, actually 60% of disbursement is a fresh disbursement out of the 2.53 lakh crore number. And if you look at that 60% comes to around almost, around more than 1,50,000 odd crores in all probability. So that's a big number that we are looking at. The overall commentary from North Block is on the lines. In fact, we have just had a word with the Finance Secretary himself, and where he was indicating very clearly that, possibly this data is indicative of the fact that, there is demand in the economy and the banks are ready to lend. This is just 1 month data. So, 60% out of that 2.53 number are the fresh term loans and working capital loans. You look at the corporate number, 1.22 lakh crore is the disbursement for the month of October. So the data looks kosher as of now. The Secretary was very clear in terms of, stating this fact that banks are well capitalized. There is plenty of liquidity. That's not an issue at all. And as per the prudential norms that they are following, so that it's not that, that the loan mailers or the loan outreach programs went against any of those prudential guidelines. But remaining within that, they have done the needful, and this is just the month of October. So, as of now, this data looks very positive. Possibly some internals will have to be looked at. But, I don't think too much of a reason to find fault with this number as of now. So, all looking good. That's the commentary from North Block.
All right, Sapna, we'll keep coming back to you on this story. Well, now let's take a quick check at the market action. A volatile day saw the Lal Street end near the day's low. Sensex slipped 170 points from highs, while the Nifty ended just below the 12,000 mark. Mid-caps underperformed the benchmarks and ended close to 1% lower. Nifty Bank ended flat after trading in a 220-point range. Well, the top story this evening, the Adani Group is emerging as a possible contender to acquire debt-ridden DHFL, according to sources in the government. This comes just a day after the RBI superseded the DHFL board and appointed an administrator. This is the first step towards initiating bankruptcy proceedings. Adani aside, Apollo and Piramal are also potential suitors. But sources say Piramal and Apollo are keen only in the retail loan book. Lata Venkatesh is here with the exclusive details. Lata, Adani the front runner for DHFL?
A strong contender for sure. Government sources tell us that Adani is keenly interested. Banking sources say that Adani Group actually looked at the assets about couple of months back, and they are the only party which was interested in the wholesale and the retail piece. The others who were in the fray, like Piramal and Apollo, were interested only in the retail space, and because Adani Group was interested in both, it is possible that it's a stronger contender than the others. But first, let me tell you what we got from the people involved themselves. We wrote to Adani Capital, which is their NBFC, and the spokesperson declined to comment entirely. We haven't written to Adani Realty, which could also be another company through which the group may be interested. We spoke to the SBI chairman. He absolutely refused to comment on the names who are interested in DHFL, but he said this much, that he expects many suitors for DHFL. Didn't say no to the names we mentioned. He said the SC verdict, Supreme Court's verdict in the SR case, is a huge shot in the arm for the process, and he is hoping that the issue of past liabilities of the past owner is obstructing the Bhushan Power case, if that is resolved, then that will clear the way for more participants and easier resolution. Just a word on the background. The original plan before the Section 227 IBC code mechanism was put in place, bankers had a resolution plan. They plan to convert much of their debt into equity, become owners of DHFL, split it into two parts, and they expected to find an owner for the retail piece. And if they applied some kind of a moratorium on the wholesale builder loans, they thought they will have to have a haircut of about 42%. They expected to pay the small depositors, the retail depositors in full, but not the interest, as and when the debentures matured, and the mutual funds, pension funds and the banks themselves were to take a 42% cut. But this is at the moment one of the plans that will go before Mr. Subramanya Kumar, who has been appointed as the administrator. This is just the bankers' plan, and the committee of creditors probably will be appointed as advisors to the administrator, Mr. Subramanya Kumar. He is free to accept any plan, and the bankers believe that Adani is likely to come with a plan which may require a haircut more than 42%. But at the moment, their guess is that if he is the only contender who wants both retail and wholesale assets, he can dictate a better price for himself.
All right, thanks Lata for that. Now, from one potential deal to another, RBL Bank is on the hunt for funds, and sources say 3 players are keen on investing. The private bank is looking to raise 2,000 crore rupees. Ritu Singh is here with the details. Ritu, who are the potential investors and how close are we to a potential deal?
RBL Bank is in talks with 3 potential investors to raise funds. Remember, back in June, the board had approved a share sale plan to raise up to 3,500 crore rupees. And now we're given to understand that RBL Bank has initiated talks with Bajaj Holdings and Investment, which could come on board as a strategic investor, as well as 2 private equity players, which is Chris Capital and Blackstone. While talks with Bajaj Holdings and Chris Capital are at a fairly advanced stage, and both are looking to pick up as much as 5% stake in RBL Bank. Talks with Blackstone are still at an initial stage. Now, if these talks materialize, both of these players would like to cap their stake at 5%, because anything above that would require RBI consent, and no individual investor is allowed to hold over 10% stake in any bank. The deal structure will be such that it will be part equity and part warrant, is what we're given to understand. Similarly, how Bain had struck a deal with Axis Bank, where some of the dilution happens at a later stage at a potentially higher price. Remember, if talks with any of these 3 investors do not materialize, there is also a contingency plan in place, because RBL Bank needs to raise this capital before the close of the year, and therefore it could go for a QIP if these investors do not come on board. It could also be a mix of both. So all options are on the table as far as RBL Bank is concerned.
All right, thanks Ritu. Now, Zee Entertainment rallied 12% in trade today. This after a CNBC-TV18 news break was confirmed with the company's promoters, SL Group, selling 16% stake in Zee for 4,500 crore rupees via a block trade. The stake sale is aimed at paring debt to resolve the loan against share issue. Nisha Podar is here with the fine print of the deal. Nisha, how are the numbers stacked up now, and what does this mean for the company and its financial investors?
It's one of its kind resolution plans that India Inc. has seen so far to address the loan against promoter pledge that was really plaguing Zee Entertainment, and the promoter entity SL Group has come out with a massive block deal program for the share of sale of about 16% stake in Zee Entertainment. And the funds raised to the tune of about 4,600 odd crore rupees will be utilized to repay some of the largest lenders. A lion's share of that could be going to VTB Capital, and some of the other mutual fund companies like Birla, HDFC, even ICICI Pru and L&T Finance could also get some share. So all put together, the entire fund is going to go for debt repayment by the promoter entity, and they will land up retaining only 5% stake in Zee Entertainment from 22% earlier. What we do gather from sources with direct knowledge is that Investco Oppenheimer, which now becomes the single largest shareholder in the company, holding about 18% stake in the company, is the one backing the present management, and Puneet Goenka will continue as the MD and CEO of the company. So the management continuity has been assured, and going forward also remember that Zee Entertainment becomes one of the most widely held companies with huge institutional participation, with promoter entity having only 5% stake in the company. So therefore, the next thing to watch out for in this company could be the new board composition.
All right. Now, infrastructure stocks ended higher in today's trading session after the cabinet approved amendments to the toll operator transfer framework. The government made key changes to make the monetization of road assets easier and more investor friendly. Anu Sharma is here with the details. Anu, what are the changes that the government has made?
The Union Cabinet has approved several changes in the TOT framework, the toll operate transfer model of NHAI. We had reported about these changes on September 13. The first change is to bring flexibility in the concession period. As against a concession period of 30 years earlier, now NHAI board can choose any period between 15 to 30 years. So a range has been given to NHAI board to choose from as per the project, as per the convenience. The second point is to bring down the toll assessment period from 2 years to 1 year. All those highways which are operational and where toll collection has been taking place from for a period of at least 1 year, those highways, those road bundles can be offered under the TOT program. The third point is that NHAI has been allowed to take long-term finance from banks by securitizing their user fees, and also NHAI board has been given powers with regard to taking decisions as far as monetization is concerned. So clearly there is an attempt to bring more, to not delay the projects at all and to make the process more investor friendly. As far as TOT3 is concerned, Cube Highways emerged as the highest bidder, and while the bid was around 0.3% higher than the reserve price, but it remains to be seen whether the new measures can bring a substantial change in the next rounds of TOT. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Anu, for that. Time now for a break, but coming up on the other side, the three-party alliance between Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress to form the next government in Maharashtra is firming up. Details when we come back.
The world is too big for any of us to change it alone. But we can change our world, our space, our environment. Because when we change what we can, we end up changing the world. And often all it takes are the few to inspire the others by switching to an electric car. Let's do it together and inspire others to join the movement.
Change what you can with the MG ZS EV.
Attic Fittings make your furniture work beautifully. German quality you can trust.
Arundhati Bhattacharya and UK Sinha share their views and insights on strengthening the people agenda in this week's episode of Financing the Future, at these times only on CNBC-TV18.
Presented by Bank of Baroda in association with Cinema Vision India.
On to the latest from Maharashtra. Shiv Sena, NCP and the Congress are gearing up to jointly form the next government in the state. Congress leader Prithviraj Chavan said in a press conference that there is complete unanimity between Congress and NCP regarding the government formation. He added that all negotiations are over and that the Shiv Sena is also being kept in the loop. Meanwhile, senior leaders of the Congress and the NCP will meet other small alliance partners in Mumbai tomorrow.
Will the Congress lay stake on the CM thing?
No, I can't say that.
Okay, have you said all the modalities have been worked out? Have the modalities been worked out? No, on the NCP and the Congress?
Did I not say that?
Yeah. So now you're going to go across to Mumbai to sort it out with the Shiv Sena?
No, not sure. Discuss with Shiv Sena formally for the first time.
Okay. But can we say all the sticky issues? Can we say the sticky issues have been sorted out? No, just the same thing. The sticky issues, have they been sorted out between the NCP and the Congress? Can you say it's on track?
What did I say? No, did I not say that all issues have been sorted out?
मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि मुख्यमंत्री शिवसेना का होगा. हम चाहते हैं, ये हमारी विश है, हमारी इच्छा है, सबकी जनता की इच्छा है कि राज्य के सरकार का नेतृत्व उद्धव ठाकरे जी करे. ये हमारी इच्छा है.
Yes, an extremely important date tomorrow for Maharashtra. Later tonight, Maharashtra Congress leaders and Maharashtra NCP leaders are likely to touch down in Mumbai. Several senior Shiv Sena leaders too will return from Delhi, and the talks will now shift to Mumbai Tomorrow, Uddhav Thackeray is first expected to attend a BMC event in the morning. Thereafter, he will hold a meeting with all his MLAs at Matoshri. And only after that, we expect that all the three party leaders will sit together and chalk down a program for seat distribution for the cabinet berths in Maharashtra. Tomorrow, the Congress will also choose its legislative party leader in a meeting of all the legislators. It is going to hold at 4 o'clock at the Vidhan Bhavan. So, extremely important day for tomorrow in Maharashtra. For all the talks will likely be finalized, and as per sources, if everything goes well, then we are looking at government formation process to be initiated within 2 to 3 days.
Well, the issue of electoral bonds was raised in the Lok Sabha today, with Congress MPs calling the scheme a big scam and alleging that it made corruption an official thing. Soon after Congress MP Manish Tiwari started speaking on the issue, Congress President Sonia Gandhi walked out of the House as the Speaker cut his audio and asked another member to continue with the issue. The government introduced electoral bonds in 2017, which allowed corporate houses to donate funds to a political party without revealing the identity. While raising the issue today in the Parliament, Manish Tiwari said that the government went ahead with the scheme despite reservations from the Reserve Bank. The opposition is demanding that the government disclose the identity of all donors and the amount they received in donations. Meanwhile, BJP countered these allegations, saying the party only believes in clean elections.
1 फरवरी 2017 को जब आम बजट में इस सरकार